All right. Okay. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Farhad Mehdipour. I'm from Otago Polytechnic, Auckland International Campus, and Eastern Institute of Technology in New Zealand. And this paper is actually written by myself and my colleague George Huang from CIC Higher Education in Australia. So I'm going to talk about this topic today, which is about differentiation of data analytics requirements between IT and accounting professions. So I just explained about the idea, what the topic is about exactly, and then I will explain about our research methodology and the results that we have got from this research. So the idea is that we have data analytics, which is one of very popular subjects nowadays in many different disciplines. So the data analytics subject, of course, is usually taught in information technology discipline, in applied management, digital marketing, accounting, and many other disciplines and areas. So one of the issues nowadays is that there's lots of variations and also discrepancies among the learning objectives and also the structure of the course that should be developed for data analytics. And this is also creating some issues, different kind of issues that I will explain later. But basically, it's kind of very expanding domain. It's one of the very hot areas in terms of the job opportunities on the market. And the course is offered in many different universities and in many different disciplines. So the problem is the mismatch between what the discipline offers and what the target profession needs. So if you look at the job descriptions on like Seek or other employment platforms, you'll see that there are lots of job descriptions posted by different kind of organizations, companies about data analytics, data science, data mining. And there's lots of discrepancy and there's lots of different requirements in terms of the competencies for the potential candidates. So this is also creating some kind of uncertainty and ambiguity for people who are designing the course, who are designing the assessments, who are creating the learning objectives for this. And also it's creating some kind of inconsistency in terms of the quality assurance. And for the graduates who are doing this kind of subjects, it's also a possibility for failing in the job market selections because they are learning something which is not really applicable to what is required in terms of competencies in the market. So the question here in our research is that what the job market needs with respect to the data analytics, what data analytics competencies are needed in the professional employment market, and how are the professions distinguish one another in data analytics. So with respect to the professions we are in disciplines, we are focusing on IT and accounting as an example, but it doesn't mean that this research is just limited to these two. Our research could be easily extendable to other areas and disciplines. But because now in IT, we have lots of opportunities in data analytics, and it's one of the key areas for data analytics. And also in accounting, it's kind of expanding nowadays. So that's why we have focused on these two areas. And we have been working on developing some courses and curriculum for data analytics in both IT and accounting. And we have faced this issue right now and working with the employers, it was like really obvious that there are some problems with regards to the courses offered in many different places. So both of these, like the disciplines claim to be for data professionals, and both are currently using data analytics to reform their curriculum. And unfortunately, none of these areas are very clear about the curriculum, the structure of the course that should be offered. So in terms of the data analytics in the global IT and information systems curriculum guidelines, which are usually published by the governments and also by the Ministry of Education, usually in each country. Like in New Zealand, for example, we have some guidelines about the data analytics and the requirements for that, published by the information technology organizations and also authorities for the information system development. But this is, showing that there's a little information offered about content and competencies at the domain level. That's why we think that this could be something that we can figure out and probably contribute to this problem and address this problem in the research that we have done. And we wanted to answer some of the key questions about data analytics and what kind of competences would be required for that. And also for accounting, you can see in the guidelines, we don't have too much information about what could be included and what kind of competences are required. So in the research method, we have been trying to determine data analytics from what's required in the employment market. So it's kind of, I would say it's kind of also reverse engineering. We look at the employment market, the competences required, and we go back and we do some kind of analysis using some machine learning techniques to be able to identify the competences that I will explain later. The methods that we have used is basically relying on the machine learning and text analysis. We have looked at around 300 job descriptions in the IT category and also accounting categories. And we have collected this data from very recent posts in the data employment platforms, in the job employment and deployment platforms. We have used a couple of algorithms. The first one is about term frequency, which is about finding the competences with the highest frequency in the job descriptions, and also word cloud, which is, I think you already know, it's about visualizing data in the way that the terms with the highest ranks appear in larger size. So I will show you some of the results that we have got. But basically, we started with a comprehensive literature review to understand the notions and working definition of data analytics. So while we go through the job descriptions, we can identify the key terms and which are kind of relevant to the competences of data analytics. The one thing that we assumed in our in developing our research methodology, we just wanted to focus on the technical competency rather than soft skills or transferable skills, because the difference is basically in the technical competencies rather than other kind of skills. We have developed some algorithms using R. Probably you know R is very popular statistical language. We have tried to automate this process, so it's pretty much extendable to other disciplines. If, for example, you want to apply the same method to other disciplines, if it's going to be between IT and applied management or digital marketing or any other discipline, this is still kind of possible. We have done lots of data wrangling. Once we got the text from job descriptions, we had huge amount of data, so we did some kind of wrangling to clean up and also get the data which is kind of pretty much relevant to what we want to do. There are some kind of promotional statements or HR policies in the job descriptions that we don't really need them, so we have removed them from the text. And after applying our algorithms, we have also done results validation. What we did, we divided our data into two parts, 70% for training and 30% for testing, just to make sure that our model is kind of working and giving us the expected results. And we have repeated this process for 7 times for the sake of consistency and validation. If you look at this, someone is waiting. So if you look at this table, which is showing the test result versus training results, for the two disciplines, IT and accounting, we have identified there are some standard competencies and there are some non-standard competencies for both of them. If you look at, for example, from the training data set, we have got these terms. So in the data analytics related to IT, people need to have this kind of competencies. They need to be able to do analysis. They need to know SQL. They should have understanding of business, Python language, statistics, Power BI, and some other things. If it use a test data, we will get kind of similar results, but there are also some variants that we have identified here. It's mostly similar. It's almost 86% similarity. And there are some commonalities here. For the non-standard...
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Farhad. Can you please change the slide? It's not getting changed actually during your presentation.
I'm talking about this one. Can you see the table?
Yeah, it's just showing the title slide. It's not moving towards the next one actually.
Oh, that's weird. Sorry, just a second. Because I've shared this screen.
You can click on the left-hand side, on the left toolbar to select the slide that will get reflect over here. Yeah, it's happening. Thank you.
Okay, but yeah, I wanted to have the slideshow, but anyway. Okay, so let me just move this to the screen. Okay. Right, for the accounting, we have a similar kind of table including standard competencies and non-standard competencies. We can see the variance and commonality. Most of the terms that we have identified in training phase, they also appear in the test phase as well. So it has been rather kind of successful with more than 80% accuracy. And we have got kind of results that we were respecting, and we got kind of similar observation to the literature review that we did. So some of the visualizations that you could see here with respect to the like bar graph that we have created. So in IT, we have some of these terms like identify, like analysis or SQL or business. In accounting, like analysis, business, these are the most frequent terms. And also in the word cloud, you can see, for instance, in IT, we mostly focus on analysis, business development, software development, Python, SQL. But in accounting, there are some other kind of focuses, including analysis plus business, reporting, financial things, and management. So the views are slightly different in the two disciplines, and there are some similarities as well. And these are the key findings. Yeah, as you can see, IT highlights competence in statistical analysis, understanding of business processes, but accounting highlights competences in business analysis, financial and management reporting. Reporting is one of the key things here. One of the other observations, which is really important, is that in accounting, we mostly focus on finance and commerce. With an IT, data science is the main thing. Probably this table summarizes everything. I would say it's kind of, you know, distinguishing IT and accounting in 5 different domains according to the research that we have conducted. In terms of characteristics of the analysis, you can see IT mostly focuses on the modeling, statistical analysis and visualization. If someone is coming from IT and going to get a job, they need to work on this kind of skills. If they're coming from accounting, they're most required to do accounting and financial kind of analysis. And there might be also like overlap between these two as well in terms of the business, understanding of the business operations as strategy, processes, and functions. With respect to the tradition of thinking, IT focuses on science and engineering, and accounting focuses on finance and commerce. Relationship with information systems, IT focuses on the development of the information system, but accounting focuses on applications of the information systems. With respect to software, IT focuses on software development, languages like, and the cloud computing, but accounting focuses on like Excel and SAP, some of the technologies which are very common in financial domain. And with respect to the tasks, in IT, we usually develop data analytics systems, models, and visualization tools. But in accounting, it's more about applications of that to detect issues, financial planning and forecasting. Yeah, so this is, I think, really helpful for the people who are developing programs, courses for data analytics. It is giving ideas and insights about what's required in this, like developing such kind of courses, this would be also helpful for the people in the quality assurance who are trying to make a kind of consistency. Either you are graduating from an IT or accounting school, so there should be kind of consistencies between them. And also it's good for the job market to get better understanding of what kind of competences they should expect from the graduates and the applicants. Yeah, so we have applied a couple of techniques, but it's not like involving many different, we have just tried 2 different techniques here, but it could be expanded with other techniques to just get more in-depth insights. And this is, I think, for the future research, there could be some expansions in different areas with respect to the algorithms that we have applied. But I don't really expect very, very different results from what we have achieved. Okay, thank you so much for your attention. If there are any questions, I would be happy to